Hi guys, Howzit? Welcome trek all to my Afrikaans-speaking followers. Welcome back to another post-game video brought to you by the Fairweather Rugby fan. Once again, I just got to thank each and every one of you guys, my new followers, my old followers, obviously a different voice when it comes to the game of rugby union. And I know I look disheveled. I had a long night last night, guys. I went to a concert with Jess, obviously my fiance. She wanted to see Jenny Lewis. For those of you not familiar, she is a singer here in the U.S. and also a former child actress in one of my favorite movies growing up. But yeah, and so we had a pretty late night, and obviously the early morning yesterday was spent. Can't go without mentioning the absolute masterclass Mahamba put on against the Sharks. Plumtree, how do you still have a job? But congrats to Ivan Van Roon. I know I have a few followers that went to the game at Ellis Park. Thank you guys for posting your photos. Cindy, all you guys, really appreciate you guys posting all the photos of your experience at the game. And it's always just a good vibe. I love seeing South Africans happy at rugby games. It's just a magical thing. But of course, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the slaughter that happened on the fields of Loftus Versfeld. I know you guys know me. I am a Bulls fan. I am a Stormers fan. I did pick the Stormers in this game. I just kind of thought maybe the Mo was on their side. And we'll just go ahead and start out and just start going through the notes on this game. And it'll just, yeah, we'll kind of give our opinions at the end. I've already discussed with a couple of mates of mine, Casual Bias. Give that guy a follow. He's also here on YouTube. Casual Bias Rugby in the Western Cape. Right after the game was over, we did a live together, and it was just kind of like, yeah, we'll just kind of discuss it at the end. Not even 2 minutes into this, man, penalty trouble for the Stormers already. They do Johan Hussen elects to kick to touch, and Hrobler gets a try off the line out 2 minutes in. Hussen does nail it, 7-0, 2 minutes in. 4 minutes later, penalties. First 20 minutes for the Stormers were a nightmare. An offside penalty on the Stormers leads to a Hussen kick. He does elect to kick. He's like 52 meters out, and he does miss, surprisingly. Not really. I couldn't kick from... Who am I fooling? I couldn't kick. Dude, I couldn't kick from 10 meters, man, like I'm going to make a 52-meter kick. The only guy that would probably be a walk in the park, too, would be the great Franz Stain. But he kicks it. This one does miss. It's still 7-0. 2 minutes later, Diamani, who I doted on before this match, high tackle. Hussen kicks from about 48 meters out. He does clear it, and it's 10-0. 12th minute in, man. Look, I wrote it down in my notes here, man. Penalty. Dude. I can complain about the ref kind of being whistle happy, but yeah, man. The discipline was bad early. They go for a maul after a penalty, and the Stormers collapse, or a scrum, and the Stormers collapse. Hussen kicks from 48 meters out once again, and it is 13 when it's 12 minutes into this game. It is not looking good early. 3 minutes later, finally, the Stormers do get a little bit something going, and Ben Loader, the former England U20, does go out right after an offload, I believe, from Evan Russ, maybe got it to him. And at multiple phases, he finally crosses. Libok from about 37 meters out, he just shanks the kick. It's 13-5. 3 minutes later, tackle goes down. Stormers don't release. Whistle comes up. Hussen elects to kick from 45 meters out. He is money on that kick. And it is 16-5. 18 minutes into this. First scrum of the game, excuse me, that was a collapsed ball. Anyways, first scrum of the game comes in at 20 minutes, and it leads to a scrum penalty on the Stormers. Hussen from 51 meters out, right through, threads the needle, 19-5. And I mean, it's 21 minutes into this game. You can already just hear the Bulls crowd just giving it, man. But I have to comment, a lot of Stormers fans there as well. 32nd minute, Stedman Hunt for the Bulls does get a yellow card for an intentional knock-on. or deliberate knock on, if I have to use the right wording. And I'm thinking, okay, so Libak kicks to touch, and Evan Roos does cross off the line out, off to the left, off to the right, excuse me, after the line out. And Libak does convert from about 20 meters out, and it is 19-12. So it doesn't look that bad at that point. 36th minute, another guy I doted on in the pregame, Ruben Van Hidden, who's been like really dominant at the tackle. He does repeated offsides. Ref says, hey, look, I've warned you. Get off here for 10 minutes. Make it to halftime. Whistle goes off. There's a penalty on the Stormers. I believe it was for a scrum penalty on the Bulls, and Libak does elect to kick from 43 meters out. He does make it, and we go into half 19-15, and that's not that bad of a scoreline. Like, I'm like, okay, look, the Stormers are getting back in it. Second half's going to come in. We'll start bringing our run-ons. Everybody will start coming on. We'll hopefully some changes we'll make. 41st minute, Bulls not releasing the ball, and we kick to touch and go for a line out. And it's 14 men apiece at this point, and turn the bloody ball over right at the try line. 46th minute, another yellow card for the Stormers, this time Warwick Gallant. For a head tackle. It was a high tackle, yellow card. It wasn't red card, no debatable there on Kurtley Arenza. Even with the headgear, you can tell it got to him a bit. But yeah, we go down a man. Stormers go down a man once again. 48th minute, once again, like I said, after the 12th minute, Stormers discipline. 48th minute, once again, Stormers just penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. 49th minute, they finally punish us. Hrobler, once again, off the line out. He does make his second of the day, and Hewson does convert from 38 meters out. He's 6 of 7 on the day so far, and is 26-15. '55th minute, Bulls get something going. Nice little chip kick. Kanan Moody, you can't catch him. He goes and crosses and makes it 33-15 after the conversion. 61st minute, off the line, Hugo Venter, off the line out, does make it. Libak does convert from 33 meters out. He's 3 of 4 kicking on the day, and it is 33-22, and I'm hoping kind of like, we got 19 more minutes to make this a decent one, and it would not be... Yeah. Another attack, 67th minute, another line-out attack by the Stormers, and it ends up being a knock-on the try line once again. Like, that's 2 right there that could have made a difference. 75th minute, after a turnover, Ambrose Papier outruns Manny Libak and chases his own kick, and it becomes the bonus point try. They do converts 40-22. Kurtley, 78th minute, I'm just thinking at this point, I was not even really paying attention because it was just getting ugly. But Kurtley Arenza, he gets loose and makes it in after an errant offload by Damian Falemza, but it was knocked on, so it's called back, and the final score is 40-22. Now, look, I'm going to say that the scoreline isn't really reflective of the game, but it is at the same time. Yeah, the penalties, and you could say the referee kind of controlled the game, but like, there's only so much that you can blame on the referee when you're having 2 knock-ons, when you're on the door knocking at the try line. You can't blame the referee for that. You can't. It just felt, this was like the game where I think Damian Falemza might have played his absolute worst this season. Moving him to center, I get having Gallant. Gallant's been so good at 15 the last couple of weeks. You had to keep him out there. But I just think Damian is so much better at 15. That's just my personal opinion. He's able to kind of control the field and see the field a bit more. And he just kind of disappeared in this game. And now I know the injury to, God, drawing a blank right now, but the injured center for the Stormers. I get it, but like I said, it never really felt. It felt from like the minute the whistle blew, the Stormers are gassed. And I know it's higher elevation. I know it's Pretoria, it's Loftus. It's higher elevation than Cape Town. But it was the Stormers were never in the game. It was, I mean, that 19-15 at half, whatever the score was at halftime, that wasn't even really reflective. They just got lucky with a few bounces to get kind of close into the game, but it was Bulls all the way. Congratulations, now 1-7. But it was a great game regardless, and I think one of the best things I heard was the pregame commentary, since I'm allowed to have that now that I have the jailbroken Fire Stick, was that there were a lot of Stormers fans, there were a lot of Bulls fans, but everyone was a Springbok fan. And that warmed my heart, because that was the truth. That was the truth of the matter. It was a stadium full of Springbok fans. It was a sold-out crowd. You love to see it. It looked so good on TV. The people just getting into it, the kids, everything. It was just an electric atmosphere. I just wish it had been a little bit more of a tighter game. But it was not. The Bulls move up in the standings. The Stormers drop pretty far in the standings after this weekend. Right now, the Bulls are the only team in the top 8 now from South Africa. The Stormers are on the doorstep. I think the Lions could potentially get in. This was a really, really good game from the Lions. And like I said, I've got to tip my hat to Ivan van Runt. He has absolutely built a monster out of nothing there. Now, I will say this. Hendrickse had a hell of a game, too, for the Lions. He's going to do just fine in Durban. He's going to do just fine. They're going to give him some solid time. Kerwin Bosch is horrible for the Sharks. He should not even be playing. Hendrickse needs to slide into that spot. Get Boots of Chamberlain to back him up, and you'll be good. That's all I have to say about that. But what did you guys think of the game? Where did you watch from? And how did you feel about the final result? Were did you wake up this morning to 1,000 texts saying 40-22? I had quite a few of those comments in my comment section on my TikTok. But you guys let me know what you think, how you felt about the game, and how do you feel? We got one last final round of Six Nations coming up. Obviously, I'm not covering it, but I will mention it. Like I said, be on the lookout. My premiership, Safas Abroad premiership video should be popping out in the next day or so. And then next week, we'll move to the French competition to talk about our South African brothers that are plying their trade in France. But until next time, please be safe. Take care of your family and yourself. May, you have food, you got a roof over your head, and just be thankful every day that you're alive and you can get to enjoy this great world we live in. Totsians and cheers, guys.